Today, we're diving into an ancient and honestly a really powerful concept from Buddhist philosophy. It's called Bodhicitta, which basically means the mind of awakening. And we're going to unpack it using a series of incredible metaphors that make this huge idea surprisingly down to earth and practical. I mean, just listen to that. That quote gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? The idea that a single shift in your mind, just one moment of awakening, has the power to wipe out 1,000 lifetimes of darkness. It's just incredible. So what exactly is this lamp? And more importantly, how do we light it? Okay, so first things first, let's get a handle on what this mind of awakening actually is. The source text we're looking at describes it as more than just a thought. It's like a kind of spiritual alchemy that can totally transform your inner world. To explain this, the text uses this amazing analogy. It compares bodhicitta to a mystical medicine, one that could supposedly turn 1,000 pounds of cheap copper into pure, shining gold. And in the exact same way, this mindset can take all the base metals of our minds, our anger, our jealousy, our confusion, and literally transmute them into the pure gold of wisdom. And this right here is a massive shift in how we usually see things. So often, we feel like we're victims of our bad moods or negative habits, right? Like they just happen to us. Well, bodhicitta completely flips that script. It says, no, you are the alchemist. You have the power to actively transform those negative states instead of just being pushed around by them. So that brings us to the central metaphor for bodhicitta, this idea of an inner lamp. And this is where the concept really comes alive, because it doesn't just show us what it is, but what it does. Okay, so the first amazing thing about this inner lamp is that it's endlessly generous. It's not a light that you just hoard for yourself. Its whole purpose, its very nature, is to share its flame, its wisdom, with as many other people as possible, with no limits. And this is the part that's just mind-blowing. Unlike, say, money or food, when you share this inner light, you don't lose any of it. Your own flame doesn't get smaller. In fact, the very act of lighting up someone else's world just makes your own light burn even brighter. It's an infinitely renewable resource. So let's just recap the power we're talking about here. This one lamp inside you can get rid of your own inner darkness. It can light up the minds of countless others, and it never, ever runs out. But, and this is a big but, there's a catch. There's a sequence. The light has to start with you. You have to get your own flame going first before you can even think about sharing it. So that's the big question, isn't it? How do we actually do that? How do we build and light this incredible inner lamp? Well, the source material breaks it down for us into 3 really practical, essential parts. Think about it just like a real oil lamp. Super simple. You need 3 things. You need a wick, and that's your core intention, your great vow. You need oil, which is the fuel, and that's your compassion. And, of course, you need a container to hold the oil, and that's your humility. Every single part is absolutely critical. Let's talk about the wick first. This is your great vow, your deep down aspiration. The text explains that if your wick is tiny, like a single little thread, you're only going to get a tiny little flame. But if you have a huge, thick, expansive wick, like a vow to help not just yourself, but everyone, all beings, well, then you create this brilliant, powerful light that can illuminate everything around you. But even the world's biggest wick is completely useless if you don't have any fuel. And that fuel is what's called great compassion. But here's the key. This isn't just about feeling sorry for people. The text is very clear that this is an active practice. You generate this oil by genuinely getting your hands dirty, by working to help others and ease their suffering. The more you help, the more fuel you have for your lamp. All right, but now we get to what might be the most practical and maybe the most challenging part of this whole teaching. You can have a massive vow, a huge wick. You can be overflowing with compassionate oil, but it's all for nothing if your container is full of holes. And this gets right to the heart of 2 totally different mindsets. The source describes these leaks as different forms of pride and ego. It's asking you to be really honest with yourself. Are you doing good things to genuinely help someone? Or are you doing them because you want other people to see you doing them? The second you start showing off or fishing for compliments, or even playing the victim to get sympathy, poof, you're leaking fuel. All that beautiful, compassionate energy is just being wasted. And look, this isn't some abstract, ancient idea. The text uses these really striking modern examples to prove the point. It points to figures like Jack Ma and Elon Musk. These guys achieved unbelievable things when they were struggling, when nobody was praising them. But what happened when the whole world started cheering for them? That praise created a leak of arrogance. Their containers started to crack, and that led to impulsive, reckless actions, and in some cases, serious downfalls. This insight from a student in the text just cuts right through all the noise. Praise from other people? That's their stuff. Criticism from other people? That's also their stuff. What does any of it really have to do with you? The moment you start needing that external validation, good or bad, you've given your power away. You've just punched a hole in your own container. So you see, looking after this inner lamp, it's not a one-time project. It's not something you just set up and forget about. It's a continuous, lifelong practice of self-awareness. It's about constantly checking our container for new leaks and patching them up with a good dose of humility. So, what does patching these leaks actually look like in your day-to-day life? Well, it's about getting really conscious of your motivations. It means acting from a place of genuine giving without expecting anything back. No praise, no recognition, not even sympathy. It really all boils down to that timeless, classic principle. Just don't do to other people what you wouldn't want them to do to you. A simple practice like that is exactly what keeps the container sealed tight. And that really leaves us with one final, pretty powerful question to ask ourselves. And we have to be honest. When you do something good, what's your real motivation? Are you genuinely adding oil to your lamp to create a light that lasts? Or are you just letting it all leak away, chasing a quick, fleeting moment of praise? The answer to that question really determines whether your lamp will ever truly burn brightly.